Most women think men who miss them will chase them, text them all the time, and beg for their attention back. That's the biggest lie you've ever been told. The truth is this. When a man really misses you, when he's actually feeling your absence deep in his chest, he does the exact opposite. He pulls back, he goes quiet, he acts like he doesn't care, and women get it wrong every single time. You think his silence means he's moved on. You think his distance means he's lost interest. You think his calm behavior means you don't matter to him anymore. But you're wrong, dead wrong. Because men don't handle missing someone the way women do. Women talk about their feelings. Women reach out when they miss someone. Women make it clear. Men do the complete opposite. They step back, they watch, they protect themselves. And while you're sitting there thinking he doesn't care, he's actually fighting an internal battle you can't even see. Here's what nobody tells you. A man's silence doesn't mean he has no feelings. It means there's something deeper going on. It means he's thinking things through. It means he's struggling. It means your absence is hitting him in ways he never expected, and he doesn't know how to deal with it without looking weak or desperate. Society has taught women to believe that love shows up loud, that missing someone means talking all the time, that real feelings always make themselves clear. But men have been taught the exact opposite their entire lives. They've been told that showing too much emotion makes them look needy, that chasing a woman makes them look pathetic, that saying they miss someone gives away all their power. So when he actually does miss you, when you're on his mind more than you know, when he's thinking about old memories and wondering what you're doing right now, he won't show it the way you think. Instead, he sends signals, quiet signals, but behavior signals, signals that most women completely ignore because they're looking for something totally different. These signals are small, easy to miss, and nothing like what you've been taught to look for. But they show more truth than any words he could say because they happen without him planning them. They slip out when his guard is down. They show what's really going on inside his head, even when his pride won't let him say it. And this video breaks down every single one of them because the signs he sends when he misses you aren't romantic movie moments. They're tiny changes in his energy, his habits, how curious he gets about you, and how he acts around you emotionally. These signs show up when he feels your absence cutting deeper than he thought it would, when your silence bothers him more than he wants to say, when he starts realizing that the version of you he took for granted is the version he now wishes he could get back. Every man has his own personality and style, but the way missing someone works is the same for everyone. When a man feels pulled back toward a woman, even when he's trying to fight it, his actions change, where he puts his attention changes and his emotional patterns change. It's like your absence becomes this invisible force pulling on him from different directions, making him act differently, even when he's trying to act normal. Women constantly get these signals wrong. They think he's just bored. They think he's confused. They think he's being friendly and nothing more. They tell themselves it means nothing. But those tiny, almost invisible behaviors are actually the doorway into what he's really feeling. And if you miss them, you miss the whole truth, that he's feeling something he won't say out loud. Here's the powerful part. The signals he sends when he misses you are silent, but that silence is screaming in the way he watches you when you're not looking, screaming in how he acts when you're not around, screaming in how he carefully tests things to see if you'll respond, screaming in how he tries to stay connected without saying he needs that connection. A man's heart almost never speaks first, but his actions always speak eventually. In this video, you're going to learn the 4 silent signals that almost every woman misses. The signals he sends when your absence starts to actually matter to him, when his mind keeps going back to memories of you, when his imagination starts filling the empty space you used to take up. And once you understand these signals, you'll never get his behavior wrong again. You'll see past the surface level and into the emotional truth he's working so hard to hide. Because when he misses you, he won't tell you with words. He'll tell you with behavior. And if you're not paying attention, you'll completely completely miss the moment when he actually wants you back. Before we get into it, quick reminder, real change doesn't happen just from watching YouTube videos. It happens when you're inside a community that helps your growth. If these videos have been helping you see things differently, imagine what going deeper could do for your confidence and clarity in relationships. This isn't just another course you take for a month and forget about. This is a space where women learn about attraction, emotional smarts, and the way real connection works. You don't join for a little while, you join for life. Every future course, every lesson, every piece of content is yours forever. No monthly payments, no end dates, just one decision that changes everything. If you're serious about understanding men better, having real confidence in dating, and never are feeling confused again, click the link below. Join the community. Sign up once, grow forever. Let's get into it. Signal number 1, the first silent signal. His attention comes back in small, unexpected ways. The first and most common silent signal a man sends when he misses you is a change in his attention. Not big, obvious attention, not direct messages telling you his feelings, not phone calls out of nowhere, but small, subtle, almost invisible actions that show he's emotionally coming back to you. Men almost never say out loud that they miss someone. Instead, they show it through tiny behaviors that slip out when they're trying to stay in control. These small actions carry way more emotional truth than any words ever could because they happen without him planning them. They're automatic. They come from a place of curiosity, longing, and feelings he hasn't fully figured out yet. One of the earliest signs is that he starts hanging around your digital life again. He might not text you directly, but he's watching your stories more often. He's reacting to random posts you make that he ignored before. He's scrolling back through older stuff you posted weeks or even months ago and quietly liking it or viewing it. He shows up at the top of your viewers list, even though he's trying not to be obvious. It's not an accident. It's the modern version of checking on you without actually reaching out. Men don't do this unless your absence has created some kind of emptiness inside them that they're trying to fill. He might also become more aware of your presence in real life if you see each other in the same places. He notices you the second you walk into a room. He pays attention to small things about you, your mood, your energy, your vibe, whether you seem happy or not. He always seems to be somewhere near you, but he doesn't make it super obvious. He doesn't walk directly up to you, but he puts himself where you can see him, where you can feel his presence. He doesn't start conversations, but he places himself close enough that you notice him. Attention like this isn't random. It's a quiet pull that he can't fully control. Another part of this signal is his curiosity. A man who misses you suddenly becomes interested in what you're doing, where you're going, who you're spending time with, all without asking you directly. He might ask mutual friends about you. He might act emotionally when he notices you're doing well, moving on, or looking happy without him. And even if he tries to hide his feelings, you'll notice small changes in how he acts. A man's curiosity always gets stronger when his emotional investment starts coming back. This type of attention is never loud because men protect their egos, especially when they feel emotionally exposed. He doesn't want to look needy. He doesn't want to risk you rejecting him. He doesn't want to open a door that might slam in his face. So he pays attention from far away, hoping you'll notice the little hints he's leaving behind. The most powerful part of this signal is how automatic it is. He doesn't plan these actions. He doesn't schedule when he'll check your profile. He doesn't sit down and think about how to talk to you. It just happens because his emotional world is shifting back toward you. And here's what makes this so important. If a man genuinely doesn't miss you, he has zero curiosity about your life. Curiosity isn't random. It's a response to emotional pull. So when his attention quietly comes back, when he's watching without saying anything, when he's looking at you without coming near, it's not coincidence. It's his heart showing what his pride won't say out loud. Signal number 2, the second silent signal. He creates small openings for you to reach back out. The second silent signal is one most women completely miss because it doesn't look like a man missing you. It looks like coincidence, like being polite, like casual talking, but it's not. When a man starts to miss you, he begins creating small, seemingly innocent openings that give you the chance to reconnect without him having to expose himself emotionally. These openings are quiet invitations. They're subtle doorways. They're gentle ways of saying, I'm thinking about you without actually having to say those words. What makes this signal so easy to miss is that men hide it as normal, everyday behavior. For example, he might reply to an old story or post you made, something completely unrelated and random, just so he can start a conversation without it looking like he started it because he misses you. He might send a reaction to something small, a quick emoji, a simple like, a short comment that seems like nothing, not because the content actually matters to him, but because he wants you to know he's still there. He could even message you with something that seems like an accident, like asking a question he could easily figure out himself or bringing up something from way back when. These actions seem like nothing, but emotionally, they're huge. They show he's trying to reconnect while keeping his pride safe. Another way he creates openings is through neutral check-ins. He might send a simple "how have you been" or "hope you're doing well" message. Women often read this as just being friendly or polite, but there's way more going on underneath. Men don't reach out to someone they don't care about. If he missed you enough to push past his ego even a little bit, that message is not casual. It's on purpose. It's a test. He wants to see if the door to you is still open, and he doesn't want to show his feelings until he knows it's safe. Sometimes he doesn't reach out directly. Instead, he uses your shared world. He becomes more active when you are. He posts things that he knows you'll see, quotes, pictures, old memories, hoping you'll understand the message hidden in them. He doesn't talk to you directly, but he communicates through timing. Women are really good at emotional timing. If he posts something the moment you pull back, it's not random. It's his way of saying, I feel your absence. He may also put himself physically closer if you share spaces. He stands near your group of friends. He shows up at places you go to. He picks a seat or spot where you're more likely to notice him, not because he wants to talk to you directly, but because being near you gives him emotional comfort without risking rejection. Every small move closer is a doorway he's quietly opening for you. The most powerful part of this signal is that he doesn't ask you to walk through the doorway. He simply creates it. He hopes you'll notice. He hopes you'll take the hint. He hopes you'll respond in a way that makes him feel understood without making him feel exposed. These soft openings are his way of reconnecting without risking his heart. And if you respond with calm, grounded energy instead of overly excited energy, he starts feeling that emotional pull even deeper. Because when a man misses you, he won't admit it. He'll create quiet chances for you to return and hope you're smart enough to notice them. Signal number 3, the third silent signal. His emotional sensitivity toward you gets way stronger. The third silent signal is the most telling, the most powerful, and the hardest for him to hide, even from himself. When a man genuinely starts to miss you, his emotional sensitivity toward anything connected to you gets way stronger. He feels your presence more strongly even when you're not around. He reacts more strongly to small things. He becomes emotionally alert, almost super aware whenever something reminds him of you. This sensitivity is not something he chooses, it's automatic. It's the mental echo of missing someone. One of the first signs of this increased sensitivity is that he reacts differently to your silence. Before, he might not have cared if you took your time to respond or if you didn't reach out or if you seemed distant, but now the smallest delay from you feels heavier. He starts noticing when you don't watch his stories, when you don't like his posts, when you don't interact in the ways you once did. He might not say anything, but emotionally he feels it. His reactions become stronger than the situation actually deserves because the situation isn't what he's reacting to. He's reacting to the feeling of losing emotional connection. Another key sign is his sudden sensitivity to your attention. He feels it when you notice him, and he feels it even more when you don't. If you give him a short, calm response, he reads deeply into it. If you respond differently than before, colder, slower, clearer. He notices right away. He becomes really tuned in to your tone, your timing, your energy. This awareness happens because he's emotionally coming back to you, even if he tries to keep his pride. A man only studies a woman's energy like this when he cares. His sensitivity also shows in the way he reacts to other people around you. If he sees you talking with someone else, even casually, it stings more than he expected. He may become protective, jealous, or quietly bothered. Even if he tries to hide it behind not caring or sarcasm, the idea of another man getting the version of you he now misses creates an emotional shift he can't fully control. He may not show it publicly, but the discomfort is real, and it shows through small changes in his behavior, like suddenly posting more, pulling back slightly, or trying to look better online. His emotional sensitivity also shows itself through memory. He begins thinking about moments you shared, replaying conversations, and going over interactions he previously ignored. Nostalgia creeps in. He remembers your presence, your energy, your attention. When a man misses you, the brain starts connecting present emotions with past experiences, and this connection makes the feeling of missing you stronger. He may even bring up old memories in a roundabout way, or post something that hints at the past without mentioning you directly. This is not coincidence, it's emotional leaking. Finally, the most obvious form of emotional sensitivity is his vulnerability. He begins responding in ways that show cracks in the mask he tries to keep up. He might reach out slightly more. He might act strangely cold one moment and unexpectedly warm the next. He might send mixed signals, not because he's playing games, but because he's struggling between missing you and protecting himself from getting hurt. This emotional back and forth is the clearest sign. When a man misses you, he becomes more sensitive to everything connected to you. Your silence, your presence, your energy, your distance, your growth. It's the signal he can't hide, the signal he doesn't control, and the signal that shows he's still emotional. Ally invested. Signal number 4, why men communicate missing you through silence instead of words. Most women expect emotional honesty to be direct. If he misses you, he should say it. If he wants you back, he should admit it. If he feels your absence, he should say it openly. But men rarely work this way, not because they're playing games, but because their emotional world is built around vulnerability, protection, and timing. When a man misses you, he almost never says it with words. He shows it in a roundabout way, quietly and subtly, because missing someone exposes him, and exposure threatens the emotional safety he works so hard to keep. Men communicate emotionally, not verbally. The truth shows up in behavior long before it shows up in speech. To a man, saying, "I miss you," is not just a statement. It's a risk. It means admitting he cares. It means lowering his defenses. It means inviting the possibility of rejection, disappointment, or emotional imbalance. That risk feels too much when he doesn't know where you stand or whether the connection is safe to bring back. Silence, on the other hand, lets him express longing without exposing his heart fully. A major reason men use silent signals is emotional pride. Men have egos just as women do, but their pride works differently. A man may want you deeply, but his pride won't let him be the one who reaches out first unless he feels certain you will respond well. Pride protects him from vulnerability. Pride keeps him from looking weak. Pride stops him from placing his emotions in your hands unless he senses enough stability within you. This is why his silent signs matter more than anything he could say out loud. They show the truth beneath his defenses. Another factor is uncertainty. When a man misses you but doesn't know if you miss him back, he experiences emotional conflict. His feelings pull him one way, but his fear pulls him the other. He doesn't want to chase a woman who may have already moved on. He doesn't want to open the door only to find that you've already walked away. So instead of showing his emotions directly, he tests, he watches, he sends gentle signals to see whether the connection still exists. This isn't playing games. It's emotional self-protection. Men also communicate through silence because they value emotional give and take. They want to feel wanted, chosen, and valued. When he sends you silent signals, he's inviting you to respond in a way that shows emotional maturity. He wants to see if you're grounded enough to read subtlety rather than needing big reassurance. He wants to see if your energy can stay calm and stable instead of reactive and needy. Those small signals are his way of opening the door without losing his sense of dignity. Lastly, men express missing you through silence because the emotional impact is stronger. A man doesn't want to beg for your attention. He wants you to feel his shift, his presence, his change in energy. He wants you to recognize the difference in his behavior and meet him where he stands. This creates deeper emotional closeness than a simple confession ever could. Silent signals force both of you into awareness, him of his feelings and you of your ability to read his emotional truth. This is why his silence is not distance. It is communication. It is the language of the masculine. Subtle, intuitive, emotional, and telling. If you misunderstand it, you miss the truth. But if you learn to read it, you'll understand exactly where his heart stands, even when his lips won't speak. How his behavior changes when he secretly wants you back. When a man starts missing you and emotionally reconnecting in silence, his behavior begins to shift in ways he cannot fully control. These are not signals he plans on purpose. They are not strategies he maps out. These are automatic subconscious changes that come out when his emotional desire to reconnect grows stronger than his desire to protect his pride. Most women get these behaviors wrong because they expect something dramatic or obvious. But the truth is that the most powerful signs he wants you back are subtle, emotional, and quiet. One of the first behavior changes is inconsistency, but not the kind that comes from not caring. This inconsistency is emotional. He may act warm one moment and distant the next, not because he's confused about you, but because he's conflicted within himself. Part of him wants to reach out, reconnect, and move closer to you. Another part fears rejection, judgment, or the possibility that you've moved past him. This push and pull creates a tension he cannot hide. His actions seem unpredictable, but they are actually showing the internal battle between desire and fear. Another behavior shift is increased responsiveness. Even if he doesn't start conversations directly, he reacts faster when you reach out or when he sees something connected to you. A message from you hits differently now. It matters more. He feels a surge of energy, excitement, or nervousness. He may read your messages more carefully, reply with more thought, or even overthink his tone. He becomes more engaged because he's emotionally invested again, even if he tries to hide how deep that investment goes. A man who secretly wants you back also becomes more purposeful about his presence. He might show up where he knows you'll be, post at times he knows you'll notice, or adjust his appearance when he thinks there's a chance you'll see him. These things may seem like accidents, but they are driven by emotion, not randomness. When a man wants to reconnect, he moves toward your orbit, even when he tells himself he's being casual. Another sign is emotional reactivity. He becomes more affected by your actions, not less. If you seem distant, he feels it strongly. If you appear happy without him, it bothers him. If you seem more confident, more focused, or more grounded, he becomes more curious and sometimes insecure. This sensitivity happens because his emotional investment is coming back. And when a man cares, even small things carry weight. You might also notice that he begins to open himself subtly. He shares more than he used to. He reveals small personal details. He shows concern about how you're doing. He asks questions that go deeper than surface level conversation. Men don't offer emotional depth to women they don't care about. If he begins letting you back into his inner world, even quietly, it's a clear sign that his heart is looking for connection again. The most telling behavior is this. He pays attention to your growth. Men rarely want to return to the same version of a woman they left behind, but when he sees you becoming more grounded, more confident, more independent, or more focused, he feels drawn to the evolved version of you. His interest gets deeper. His imagination gets stronger. He starts wondering if he made a mistake, if he misjudged your value, or if this new version of you is the woman he was looking for all along. His behavior doesn't lie, even when his words do. And when he secretly wants you back, his actions begin showing the truth his pride won. Tease speak. In short, most women waste years chasing words from men, waiting for clear confessions, obvious signals, and statements that show how he feels. But the truth is that men rarely communicate attraction, longing, or regret through direct speech. They communicate in behavior, in energy, in subtle rhythms that change the moment they begin missing your presence. A man's silence is never empty. It's a coded language. And the silent signals he sends are way more telling than anything he could say out loud. By the time he truly misses you, his internal emotional world has already gone through multiple changes. His attention returned long before his words did. His curiosity grew even when he tried to push it down. His imagination made bigger the version of you he once overlooked. His sensitivity increased, showing how deeply your absence affected him. His behavior shifted, showing the emotional tug of war he was fighting within himself, and eventually the signals stopped being subtle and became impossible to ignore. He may not confess it, but everything about him, his timing, his responses, his presence, his emotional ups and downs, is telling the truth his pride won't admit. This is why understanding these silent signals is one of the most powerful skills a woman can have. Not to play games, not to chase, not to force an outcome, but to see clearly, to see beyond the surface, to recognize emotional truth even when words hide it. Male psychology works in layers, and the deepest layer is always silent. When you understand these layers, you're no longer confused, reactive, or emotionally blind. You're grounded, you're aware, you're in control of your understanding instead of being controlled by your emotions. The real change is not in knowing when he misses you. It's in who you become while he does. The woman who recognizes silent signals is also the woman who no longer needs constant reassurance. She doesn't chase validation. She doesn't fall apart when